In the dawn of the 21st century, with everybody's eyes focused on the emerging technology of the internet, a huge, unrivaled force managed to sneak into our lives undetected. High-speed internet porn became available at the click of a button for anybody with an internet connection. For the first time in human history, any sexual fantasy you can possibly imagine is available for anybody to see, at no cost whatsoever. This could potentially be the biggest social experiment in history. This is a huge deal. This is not trivial. This is completely new. And this is going to have major effects on human beings. An uncontested path into our lives. This tidal wave of porn has risen in an era of sexual freedom, where anything between consenting adults goes. The main opposition to porn, religion, is shunned to the side, with the majority being firmly on the side of science. Nobody is going to allow religion to make them feel guilty for masturbating. The internet cultural has allowed porn to move into mainstream culture almost completely uncontested. You get aroused by pixels on your laptop screen. If your brain could tell the difference between a porn video and real sex, you wouldn't get aroused. Because funnily enough, you can't pass your DNA onto an electronic device. Now, many men watch more porn than they do real sex. This is a problem, because women in porn are hypersexualized. Porn actresses are unusually attractive. They have a makeup artist perfecting their flaws. The lighting and shadows on their body are in exactly the right place, and the noises they make are comically over-exaggerated. And when men spend more time watching porn than having sex, their brain expects to see the hypersexualized woman they saw in porn, not a real woman. They become desensitized, and they become less aroused with a 3D, non-pixelated woman in the flesh. But there's more to it than that. Watching porn has characteristics than real sex doesn't. Being alone, watching from a third-person perspective, clicking, searching, sitting in a particular position, watching a screen. Your brain will rewire itself to associate arousal with these characteristics. To a frequent porn user, real sex just won't feel right. By far the biggest problem with internet porn is the number of different women a man can see in such a short space of time. Many frequent porn users will have picked up the habit of switching between different videos in rapid succession. Watching porn gives the male brain access to an endless stream of different naked women. Your subconscious brain thinks that you've hit the evolutionary jackpot, and the user will experience a spike in dopamine with each new female on screen. The brain begins to expect the constant novelty of new women, thus men get less aroused when having sex with their long-term girlfriend. These constant dopamine spikes are also the reason why many men succumb to pornography addiction. The average 16-year-old can see more naked women in 1 hour than his ancestors would have seen in an entire lifetime. Now, this constant binging of new females and dopamine spikes leads to a buildup of the brain chemical delta phosphate in the brain's reward circuit. This means 3 primary structural changes in the brain. 1. Numbed pleasure response. Everyday pleasures begin to be less satisfying. 2. Hyperreactivity to porn. While everyday pleasures seem boring, porn becomes extra exciting. 3. Willpower erosion. The frontal cortex is changed, leading to a weakening of willpower. All 3 of these brain changes are features of all other addictions, including drugs, alcohol, and gambling. Do you feel you're compulsively watching porn? Then Blocker X might help you. It is a complete porn de-addiction solution. Blocker X is the ultimate porn website blocker to help in your semen retention journey. It has the tools to help you systematically overcome this problem. To start, this app's main focus is just for blocking porn, but you can also block other websites like Instagram or Facebook. The moment you type in porn into a Google search on your phone, it immediately blocks it, before you can even search for it. Of course, none of this means anything if you can just turn it off at will, but they put thought into this too. You can turn it off whenever you want, but it will ask you if you are sure about 5 times. And even then, to turn off the blocker, it makes you type in, "Turn off the ad blocker, because I have no self-control." And even then, if you turn it off, there is a special help me button for you to click on that blocks all access to your phone for 10 minutes. This button is available all the time to you. It has a robust blocking functionality, helps by blocking all porn sites. You can team up with a friend of yours, called an accountability partner. You can talk to peers to get support and encouragement on your journey. I strongly suggest this app, especially if you're just starting out on this journey. Everything I mentioned here is free, and there are some extra features you get for the paid version which are very useful. It has a 3-day free trial, so you got nothing to lose. Check out their app from the link in the description. The Internet Rabbit Hole. Why has internet porn become more and more extreme, disgusting, and absurd over time? Search through any porn site, and the chances are high you will find some extreme porn on the homepage. Extreme bondage, feet worship, public humiliation, piss, vomit, rape. Are these really people's natural tastes? No, for most people, these tastes were created by high-speed internet porn. This increases the exposure of this extreme content and leads to even more people adopting these extreme sexual preferences. It's a downward spiral. A generation educated by porn. As high-speed internet porn crept into our lives around 2008, sex education stayed exactly the same. Sex education, like most education, failed to keep up with technology. Schools don't teach teenagers about sex, internet porn does. Somewhere between the ages of 11 to 17, most teenage boys start watching pornography. From here on, most of them watch countless hours of it right into their 20 seconds. This is often a long time before they experience real sex. This is a problem. Pornography isn't sex. But a teenage boy doesn't know that. The future of porn, virtual reality. VR porn is already available. Right now, you can watch porn in a first-person view, as if you're in the scene. Eye contact with the porn actress feels real. But we've seen nothing yet. We're beginning to see sex robots incorporated with VR. Silicone tits and asses to groped in synchronization with VR porn. And the technology is only going to get more and more realistic. Considering the huge problems already caused by 2D porn, just imagine the kind of problems that 3D porn will cause. There will come a time when 2D porn seems old-fashioned. VR porn is coming. The question is, where will it lead us? Men will stop going outside. As extreme as this sounds, it will be true for a minority of men. The pursuit of sex is one of the main motivators for young fellows to head out into the world. But when they can fulfill their sexual desires, to a large extent in a VR porn scene, why bother? Some groups of men in Japan already live this way on a diet of 2D porn, gaming, and TV shows. It's obvious that VR porn is going to increase the number of shut-in young men. VR porn means less motivated men, more porn addiction, and more men with sexual problems. It's impossible to tell which direction this will go until we've seen VR porn enter the mainstream for a few years. With VR porn, you're no longer watching the scene from a voyeuristic perspective. It's first person, not third person. The feeling of connection and the feeling of eye contact you get with the porn actress may make men prefer VR over partners in real life. VR porn will follow the same rabbit hole effect we've seen in 2D porn. Audience sexual tastes will get more and more extreme as they're desensitized from vanilla content. This will lead to the same extreme BDSM, violent porn becoming more mainstream. Just in VR this time. Will realistic, violent porn from a first-person perspective make people more violent towards their partners in real life? Bang anybody you like. Celebrities or your next-door neighbor. Right now, it's possible to use AI to attach a celebrity's face to a porn star's body. The results are shockingly realistic. The technology is in its early stages, but at some stage, you will be able to take anybody's face and put them into a VR porn scene. Simply grab a few photos of them from their social media, and you will be able to bang them inside VR. As porn is going more and more mainstream with technologies like VR, we need to stay vigilant and ensure that our life isn't negatively affected due to this trend. I highly recommend giving Blocker X a try so you can stay guarded from the negative influences of porn. The future of porn is going to be interesting.